All right, here we go.
Okay. So I'm here with Chantay, make sure I say it right, Chantay Moore.
Yes.
Um, and my name, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Matisse Brewer, Director of Racial and Gender Equity Advancement at YWCA South Florida. And welcome to Take Action Tuesday. Um,
Yes, Matisse, thank you.
yeah, and thank you so much for joining me. If you wouldn't mind just kind of, introducing yourself, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and then we'll, dive in.
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Chantay Moore. I am an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation and African American. I serve many capacities in my role. I am the director of Native American Financial Literacy Services, which is a company that provides financial literacy workshops specifically for tribal organizations and companies that serve tribal organizations across the country. In Chicago, where I currently reside, I also serve as the president of the board for the American Indian Center. Also serve on the advisory oversight committee for the Chicago American Indian Community Collaborative, and I do some part-time work with Chicago Public Schools in the American Indian Education Program, where we service any Native student in our Chicago Public School District from preschool all the way through 12th grade. So just a lot of work here being done.
That's amazing. That's awesome. You sound like you are super busy all the time. So I really appreciate you taking, a few minutes to talk with me.
Sure.
So really what I mean, it's the last day of a Native American Heritage Month, but obviously we don't just need 1 month to talk about Native American heritage and why it's important and what's going on. And we also, want to bring that in with to your area of expertise, which is financial literacy. So
Mhm.
if you wouldn't mind just, telling us why that's so important and what would you recommend people do to get involved?
Yeah, so as an Afro-Indigenous woman, I grew up on the South Side of Chicago, and my story was nobody ever came into my community to talk to my family about saving money, making smart money decisions. And the reason being is because the financial industry typically caters to individuals who already have money, that top 1% of the country. Like, if you don't have $250,000 or more of investable assets, you're really not worthwhile to talk to. So seeing that and growing up and having, families' humanity removed from them to not even be given an opportunity to learn and be educated by professionals was something that really, I really took it to heart. I grew up very poor. My family did the best that they could, but, we didn't come from wealth. I didn't come from a family who had money. And when your parents don't learn about money, often your children don't learn about money. And thank God I was able to have opportunities to, get a full ride scholarship to college and graduate and learn, have my undergrad degree in accounting. And I was recruited into the financial services industry right after college. So I was able at a very early age to come under, amazing financial professional leadership and learn basics about money, how to save, how to invest, like life insurance, like 401k. Oh, what's that thing? And I learned again, my communities, our Black and Brown communities were not being serviced. So I had started my career to go back to my communities intentionally to say, you know what, folks, nobody else is going to do it, so I need to do it. And that's what I've been doing for the past 15 years in the financial services industry. And then recently, a couple years ago, I started my company, Native American Financial Literacy Services. But my entire, my private practice I've been doing for 8 years now, serves all people. I don't care who you are. Green is the same color. We all deal with it. But I think it's just important for people to take that responsibility and say, like, look, no one's going to do this for me. We can't depend on our jobs. We can't depend on our government. We have to take that responsibility to save and figure out this information on our own. And I hope that, my passion is just to give folks their resources so that they can make good and well-informed decisions when it comes to their finances.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's definitely something that fits into the wider inequities and how we can, and I mean, unfortunately, I think you're right. We can't rely on jobs and pensions anymore. We can't rely on, I mean, we're lucky to even get an employer that matches you, right? And that's something, it can be so complicated trying to figure out, do I want it pre-tax? Do I want it post-tax? How
Mhm.
is that going to help me? And I think, it goes back to the wider issues of public education, right? Why aren't we learning these things when we're kids, right? So,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
we definitely don't learn it in school. Actually, statistically, only 21 states out of the 50 in the US actually require just one class on personal finance to graduate. And
wow.
I know Illinois, where I live, is not one of them. So, yeah, it's like, why don't we learn about money in school when we have to deal with it every single day for the rest of our lives? So, it's very interesting that we don't learn this information. And again, unless your family comes from money and wealth, because they do talk about money all the time, you otherwise wouldn't have those conversations. And as adults, we figure it out later in life, but often through trial and error.
Right. So what would you suggest for somebody who is younger or they're starting out, or even if they are older and they're feel like they're behind the eight ball, what would you recommend as the first thing to figure out to start your understanding?
Yeah, I think, I talk a lot about responsibility and taking ownership of that information. First is to become financially literate. We don't know what we don't know, and there's a lot of resources out there for folks to, read books, to become educated. But I also believe in professional guidance. Unfortunately, we live in this, social media day and age where people are, self-proclaimed experts, and unfortunately a lot of them aren't experts. They don't know what they're talking about, and they're misguiding a lot of people. So one thing that I try to do is like educate people on how to even scope out true professionals in this industry. How do you know someone's even qualified to have these conversations with you? The financial services industry is very highly regulated. We have licenses, we have certifications, we have exams we have to take. We have to get fingerprinted to do business. And those, and we take those things very serious. So I always try to tell folks, like, look, number one, seek professional guidance. Do not try to figure out this stuff on your own, because you probably don't know the best steps to take. I meet with clients who literally only have $10 extra per month to save, and I have other clients who have $1,000 per month. Those are two very different scenarios, and you need to work with someone who can guide you with no matter how much money you have, and that they can give you good recommendations that are suitable for you. But it starts with you accepting, what, maybe what I've been doing the past 10, 20, 30 years is not working, because it's not working if you're not where you want to be financially. So oftentimes the biggest barrier is just having folks understand, what, I need professional guidance. I need to become financially literate, and I probably need to seek out some help because I haven't been doing well on my own. It's just kind of like when you go to, like, if you want to lose weight, you seek out a dietitian and a personal trainer because they know exactly what to do. Or if you're sick, you go to a hospital and you seek out medical professionals because they know exactly what to do. You should do the same thing with your finances. Seek professional guidance because we know exactly what you should do.
That's a great analogy as well. So you're local, you're in Chicago. Is that if only local, or with COVID, are you doing remote? Like how do people get a hold of you if they want, to learn more?
Yeah, yeah, thank you for that question. So no, I mean, one thing that I'm blessed with is the companies that I align myself with and hold my licenses and registrations with. They allow me to work with anyone across the US, in Puerto Rico, and actually in Canada. So my business is nationwide. Like, I actually have more clients outside of Illinois than I actually do have locally. So like, even for folks in Florida, I'm licensed in Florida. All across the US, I'm actually able to help folks. And yeah, the one thing that I've been blessed with is my business is pretty much 90% virtual. The Zoom world was nothing new to me. I offered webinar presentations. So, thankfully, I was able to thrive throughout the pandemic from a business standpoint, because everything I do is online. It's all Zoom. I have a lot of recorded webinars on my YouTube channel. So if anyone's interested in just learning about the work that I do or how I can help them, I would encourage them to go to my website. It's called howmoneyworks.com/Chantay W. Moore. So howmoneyworks.com/Chantay W. Moore. You'll be able to schedule a free consultation with me. The one thing I'm also grateful for is that our company won't let us charge folks for our services. And I think that's a huge key factor, because typically when you try to go and find a financial advisor or someone to get this professional help that I'm saying you should have, they try to charge you. They charge you, $500 just to sit with them and have a conversation. I'm glad to partner with a company, the How Money Works company, to where we can't even charge. It's not even allowed. So a lot of the work we do, the work that we do is complimentary, because we want to give people that professional guidance, but without putting another financial burden on them to get that guidance. So again, if anyone's interested in reaching out to me, just go to my website. You'll be able to request a phone consultation with me just to get started.
Thank you so much. And that is another important barrier, like especially because it's the whole point. You have to spend money in order to make more money, right? And that's another barrier that people have to try and get over. And you mentioned saving a lot, so I just wanted to make sure, to all our viewers, not only should you, visit Chantay's website and learn more there, but also at the YWCA, some of our programs for financial literacy are match savings, which if
Mhm.
you participate in this program, it's an amazing program. You do some classes on financial literacy, learning what you don't know. And if you save $1,000, we match you up to $1,000. So
Wow.
there's a lot of, yeah. So I mean, it's free money, and it's an
Yeah.
opportunity for people to really get started.
There's so
Um,
many resources out here that folks, they just, some people just don't know where to look. And I'm happy that you all offer something like that. That's amazing. I've never heard anything like that. So, yeah, just take advantage of those classes. And then, people are looking like, oh, I learned something in that class. How do I open up that account they talked about or whatever? Then that's when I could come in and say, yes, do this, and give some more of that one-on-one guidance. So that's really awesome, the work that you all do.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you again for being with me today. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, and hope you had a happy Native American Heritage Month.
I did. Thank you so much, Matisse. I appreciate you all for inviting me today.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Bye bye.